Hi, Sneha. Welcome to the Authors Club show, and very good evening to you. And thank you so much for being here. And you have contributed an article to the Billionaire Mindset Volume 2, which was one of the first articles, first books of the Authors Club. So thank you so much for your contribution.
Hello, Leena, and thank you to you. The pleasure was all mine. Being a part of the Authors Club, the one that you have initiated, that's an excellent thing. I would really like to tell you that. Like, I have read somewhere, there are only 3% of the entire population of the world who is into writing or also into the reading books. And to make a club to appreciate or to motivate someone like us. Like, I am a debut novelist. I wrote my book for the first time, and getting an opportunity, something like this with you was a great thing. So thank you so much for that. And secondly, being a part of the anthology Billionaires Mindset Volume 2 was or is like a life changer for me. Trust me. Being a part of such great authors, one of you is one of them among is you, and so many
Thank
other
you. My
people.
pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and so much of knowledge sharing, knowledge building. It is a great journey. I would seriously say that. So it's the pleasure is all mine being here and being a part of the book.
Thank you so much for that. All right. So now, I have created this Authors Club show, in order to share some wonderful knowledge with people and inspire people more and more to take action in their own life. So, would you like to share something about your journey and how it's been for you?
Absolutely. First, I would like to tell about myself. I am Sneha Sayani. After marriage, I'm Sneha Boghani. I was born in India, in Mumbai, brought up in Hyderabad, Deccan, and I have done my education there. Then I was a postgraduate in international business through Indira Gandhi University, where I got a gold medal for topping in the entire country and even the international students who were there. Then I had an experience of being working in multinational companies and owning a franchisee in summer camp, and having and being in the education sector for almost 7 years before my marriage. And then
Lovely.
there was one turning point. I got married, and I got married into Karachi, and I shifted to Karachi, and right now I'm here. It's been 10 years, me and my husband. I've got my two kids, and that's how it is. And then how I became an author, I became a coach, and I became a speaker, and the journey is all about it, and it's still going.
Obviously, it's such a delight for me to introduce you to be from Karachi, and it's great to have you here on based on the fact that we are uniting Pakistan and India here
Absolutely.
on this platform.
Yeah, I would like to mention, as you know, I and my husband both have written this article in the book together, and he wanted to be a
Yes,
part of this show as well, but because of few business commitments he couldn't make it. But even he would be delightful to have this interview with you and share his views.
absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
more than happy to have him here with us again. But however, I know he could not make it, but we will surely conduct more and more interviews in the future as well, for new learnings and new nuggets for people who are listening to us.
Definitely, and especially for our second book coming soon, inshallah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. So, can you give me a little information on what kind of barriers you had to break in order to be here in the journey that you are of coaching and writing books and all of this?
Definitely. I would really like to share this, Lena, especially for the women out there. Like being young and being into work, being into job, that was a great part. But once you get married, things change for many of the women, right?
Yeah.
And especially when you're changing your country, and this is from India and Pakistan, or it's from India to
Mhm.
US, it's from India to Canada, it's from India to Africa, from India to where not. I've seen people moving around the world. Things
Absolutely.
change. You get to know different kind of people, but still you break so many barriers, because once when I came here and I got adjusted, it took a lot of time, but the people around were so friendly, so beautiful around, and even the culture of India and Pakistan is almost similar. So it wasn't that difficult for me to come and settle down here. But when I meet with women who have been across the globes, who are changing the climatic conditions, who are changing the cultures, they get a bit of time to get adjusted. I'll tell you one barrier that I broke, and it's like after 10 years of my marriage, I was with my brother into his marriage, and I was there. I went to India. I keep going to India everywhere, but when I went there, I just hosted his entire wedding. I got my mic again in my hand, so I was into public speaking again, and there was something that I realized what I was missing. This is something I was doing before my marriage, and I don't know why, but I've stopped it now. And when I got that mic in my hand, and everybody was like, I had the same zeal and enthusiasm and the same type which I was 10 years back. And I just thought in my mind, I have to do it again. And that was the one thing that I said just to myself. And as you know, the universe, it attracts what you want. And then I went into this coaching program. I became a life coach, and now I'm here. I'm an author. I'm doing this show. So everything which I wanted, only because I desired it wholeheartedly and prayed to Almighty for it, I got it back. So this is one barrier that I broke, but it took me 10 years from now. So this is for all the women out there. Just be open in your imagination, just as you say, Leena, keep your imaginations wide. Open your imagination and keep your desires open and strong, and ask for it. You can pray for it, and things will, and keep your codes positive. The things will happen, and things will happen in that direction. So now I'm here. I am coaching women out there in my 10-week coaching program. I do it online through Zoom because of COVID, but I would say thanks to COVID, because in my last batch, I coached someone who was from US, who was from Pakistan, who was from India, and who was again from some other part from US. All four women together. And it was such an excellent
Wow.
journey where people learn from each other, we learn from each other, and we open up. And all the feedbacks were like, we never thought we could do this, but just because we thought and we went in the direction, we could achieve our goal. So that is one barrier which I broke, and I would want every woman out there to do it. Just go ahead and have your thing. And I would say one more thing. While doing this, my kids are not neglected, my family is not neglected. I'm doing everything together. In fact, luckily I'm doing this with my husband. So this is a step more. I mean, we are coming more closer, we are knowing each other more better. And this is our next step in our relationship. So this is
Yeah.
one kind of thing I would like to share with you and everybody around there.
Absolutely. I have seen coaching journeys transform relationships to a great level where, the whole level of understanding between people completely transforms. Where I have seen couples working on what they want to do in the next 5 years and where they want to travel. And like you said, the keys are left by our great motivating people who have already walked the journey. Like they say, imagination is everything. And that really really works, like you said. So of course that's really beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing that. What I would like to ask you, I know from you beyond that, is would you like to share something about the article that you have written in the book?
Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to share that article. And I'll tell you something. The name of our chapter or the article is Best with the Partnership in the Business. Okay? And this is about a real life stories. There are many real life stories in which there's our story, and there
Hmm.
are many of famous celebrity stories and stories of people that we know.
Yeah.
And this is how a part of the business, a part of the profits, or a part of the income, they started giving in the name of Allah or in the name of charity. And once they started doing that, the business started grow exponentially. In this chapter we have given a formula. How do you do that? And by doing that, people are progressing, I mean, I would say rapidly. I would
Beautiful.
really like to share a small instance from my chapter. There are many stories, but this story is really close to my heart. This is about somebody whom I know personally. I would definitely wouldn't name, but really, this is one of my friends. Okay, so these were two brothers, all 40 years of age, and both were into their own business, into the jewelry business. They live in Bombay. And because of this pros and cons and whatever, these two brothers were not into talking terms at all right. They were not talking to each other, I might say, past 10 years. And they were just living into their journey. And once what happened, there was a electricity failure or something, and almost 100 shops in that street got just burnt to ashes. And one of them was the younger brother's shop. And there was losses in crores that he incurred. All his stock, all his property, everything got burnt. And it was his only business, and he was the only owner, I would say, breadwinner of the family. And there he was. And when he started this, he was just there in the mosque, and he was crying. And he was crying and he was thinking, what's wrong? What's wrong? You know what? It's only been a month before he had given a percentage of of his business into charity. He had made a pact or a decision that every month this part of a percentage he would give into charity from his business. And he started that, and after a month everything got into ashes. He was just sitting in the mosque. He was just very low, and he was praying to Almighty what to do. He was not understanding, and he was there and there. And there comes his brother the next day. And when these two brothers see each other, they just hug each other and they start crying. The elder brother says, I am here, you don't worry. I am here, you don't worry. And the 10 years of silence, 10 years of not talking, and 10 years of not, I don't know what all cooking into their hearts, everything got melted. And then they both went to the elder brother's house. They sat together, they had dinner together, the both families united. And the next day the elder brother emptied one of the portion of his shop and gave it to the younger brother. And the
So
younger
sweet.
brother started his business immediately right there. And gradually what happened, he found a shop which was in front of the road. Before that it was behind, inside somewhere. Now the younger brother gets a new shop on rent, which he always wanted to, but he never had, what you just said, the himmat or the stamina to go ahead with
Courage.
the another, the courage to go ahead with the other one. So he went there, he got the new shop, he started his business there. And simultaneously, now what he is earning is much more than what he was earning previously. Number one. Number two, the other shop that he was there, it's also getting renovated and stuff by the government, and he's going to give it into rent. So he's started another business, one business and one rental, extra income, spare income for him. These two things, and the relationship with his brother, these three things were just something that he wanted, but
Right.
he never expressed, he never desired. And
Mhm.
just by making this change in his business, all these things in his life changed. And Leena, trust me, this is one of a very basic example of this, and there are so many more in this chapter. So this is what
Absolutely.
I and Mehboob, and even Mehboob is into business. He's made a monopoly in his business. He's a great entrepreneur, past almost 18 years. So these things he have developed in his business too, and you don't know how much we have progressed. Alhamdulillah. And everybody else who have done that, many big celebrities also. So everything about them, all these real life stories are in this chapter. And I really want
Beautiful.
every business one, the one who is starting, the one who is not started, one who is dreaming, and one who is doing very well, and anybody who is into a job too, just to read this chapter, read this book, and go ahead with this mindset, and you will prosper for sure, inshallah.
Superb. Thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful story. And let me tell you, siblings are a beautiful gift in our life. Actually, having them in
Totally.
our life is the biggest
Blessing in
blessing that we
disguise,
could have ever asked for.
honestly.
So, because I remember my sister also supporting me very well when times were tough for me.
Hmm.
So I really our bond got really strong beyond that. So it is a huge thing that can happen, in one's life. Like they're a huge blessing. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful story again. And thank you for being here at the Authors Club show and inspiring our audience. And yes, we are looking forward to hear about a lot more in the coming future from you. So stay in touch and keep coming.
Thank you so much, Leena, and thank you so
My
much,
pleasure.
wonderful audience. Stay tuned. Go and grab your copy for Billionaires Mindset Volume 2 ASAP and change your life. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Take
Thank you.
care.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.